Butter my balls.
And tell me you love me.
Why not?
The new album from Jordan and Keiran. 250 Reasons.
Why do you sound like Microsoft Sam? The
Microsoft-
new album from Jordan and Keiran.
Well, I
Butter my balls and tell me you love me. With such hits as...
swearing, spoilers, and opinions.
And other such greats as... My balls.
Butter them. In brackets. Butter them.
Slight reprise.
Butter them, butter them, butter them, butter my balls. Butter them, butter them, butter them, my balls.
Coming up. Hello and welcome to 250 Reasons to Stay Indoors. I'm Jordan.
I'm Keiran.
And this is the podcast where we watch the IMDb top 250 films and we tell you whether they were worth staying indoors for or whether you should go outside
And do something else.
and learn how to finish sentences on the right intonation.
Okay, do you want to ask me what we were going to watch this week, Jordan?
No, I thought you could just take it away.
You know what? I'll just tell you.
Okay.
This week we're going to be watching How to Train Your Dragon.
How excited are you?
I am super excited,
Yeah.
and it is the first of the three films. You know what? Just putting this out there, we haven't actually discussed this.
Okay.
I reckon we should do all three of them.
Yeah?
But they probably won't come out in weekly succession, which would be ideal, but hey, fuck it.
But hey, fuck you, rather.
And anyway, it came. The first one came out in the year 2010, and it is number 180 on the list.
Okay, so have you seen it before?
I have seen it before, Jordan,
Okay.
and I had a lot of fun watching it the first time, but that was ages ago.
Okay.
I don't know how long ago. The main guy is called Hiccup, and
Oh, spoilers.
here's another spoiler: he fancies someone.
Whoa.
Yeah, check that out. Unheard of in films thus far. Have you ever seen this film before?
I have,
in your life?
quite a few times.
In your long life?
In my long life.
Yeah. How
My
many times
long,
have you...
luxurious and
luscious life?
highly sought after life.
How many times have you seen it?
Well, I mean...
How long is a ball of string, right?
Exactly. No, I think maybe 4,
Wow.
3,
Thrilling.
4, 4, something around there.
Oh, exhilarating. Just on the cusp of underneath that sweet, sweet 5. Okay. Now, if you hadn't have seen this film before, Jordan,
Yeah.
what the bloody hell did you think?
It's got to win a title for the most accurately named film, hasn't it? Like, it's pretty on the... says what it does on the tin. Is that the... It does what it says on the tin.
But
On the front of the tin, it says "How to Train Your Dragon." You open the tin up, and inside there's a book.
Or it's just a training montage.
Yeah.
It's just like a Rocky style. That's what I would want from this film. Is the
Right.
dragon to just like run up some steps and.
And at the end, he fights a Russian dragon
Yeah,
or a dragon with lots of chains.
that's what I need. And he just has that he does a TV interview where he punches like some cow meat or something like that.
Yeah.
Remember that part from Rocky?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so there's that. That's the thing. We're recording with a new setup at Jordan's place. We've made a little fort to reduce some sound echoes.
Yeah.
And-
Fort Boyard can fuck off.
And zing.
This boy is hard, and he's got a fort.
Okay. Well, we've got these like really thick drapes around us, not like on our actual person, but like
And not like actual drapes.
But what the fuck would you call these things?
They're throws.
Oh, darling, we have these throws above us. But basically, the only reason I'm bringing this up is I just realised how hot it is because I've got this thing on my.
I am starting to sweat.
Whew.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, hopefully we'll cool down a bit when we watch the film.
I can't wait.
Let's watch the film.
Okay. And we're back with a couple of fast thoughts and a person. Here's Chiara.
Chiara. It's those air horns that you love so much.
Yeah.
Beep,
Yeah.
beep, beep, beep.
So everyone say hi again. But Chiara's back for this episode because How to Train Your Dragon is one of her favorites, as she said.
Yep.
As you've said.
Yep.
Yeah.
On a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is like, get the fuck out of here, and 10 is like, I will watch it until the day I die, how much do you love this film?
I'd say like 9.
Wow.
9.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a strong
I mean, like,
that is big.
I find it really hard to pick which one I like. I kind of, it's as a series, it's a 9, all 3 of them together.
Wow.
Okay.
So have you seen the new one now?
Yeah, I have. I saw it the day it came out.
Did you go see it the day it came out?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I've cosplayed as Hiccup before.
How does one cosplay as Hiccup? It's like a green t-shirt.
No, I cosplayed as him from the second film.
He's got his...
Oh,
he's got like all his leather armor and shit going on.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It was the worst
Dragon
decision I
fighter
ever
armor.
made in my life. It was
Dragon tamer, rather.
It was a bad idea.
I'm not sure I've seen the second one.
So if you could go around again, who would you cosplay as now?
I mean, probably Hiccup's mother.
Right.
Wait, what?
Spoilers.
She's in the film at some
Oh
point?
yeah, spoiler.
Fucking hell,
shit.
you
Shit, I'm
guys!
sorry.
Whoa! I thought she was dead.
So
You
Kieran, you
asked
need
me
to
the
go and watch
question.
How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Is she
I
in
feel
2?
bad.
Maybe.
Oh my god.
I feel really bad now.
Okay. We definitely need to do. We need to do episodes
No,
on.
well,
2 and 3.
you see her in flashbacks.
Okay, that is all right. Okay, so you would cosplay as someone in a flashback. Would you also have like some dry ice around you the whole time to make yourself look like a vision?
Yeah, absolutely, and a harp. So like every time I enter the room, it's like yeah,
that's good. Or you just have Jordan going flashback, and then
that's
cool.
it. Yeah, that's it.
All of that stuff.
That's what I'm
Just
doing.
me on a soundboard.
Love it.
I'm getting quotes in for the soundboard and things. I'm getting some people are coming in. They're hitting me up. They're getting in my DMs.
Okay, let's go for those fast thoughts.
Yeah, dragons.
Classic, of course. Should we go in a little triangle?
Okay.
So Jordan, you had dragons first. Chiara, would you like to go next?
I feel like Kieran just wants a lot of time to think about it.
No.
Beards.
Scotland.
Vikings.
Shield.
Father and son.
Wood.
Leather.
Grass. We can just go on all of the materials.
Sheep.
Eel.
Fish.
Rite of passage.
Amputee.
Training.
Big dragon.
What the fuck? That doesn't count. We already
There was
said
a big dragon.
Yeah, fine. Sheep.
We already had sheep.
We did have our own
Did we?
we
Oh.
did have sheep.
We already had
fine.
sheep.
Chicken legs.
Oh Jesus. The manual.
Boats.
Axe.
Fire.
Oh, is it me?
Ice.
Sorry. Oh. What? Where's the ice?
Yeah, we're getting really confused. There was ice.
Fury.
I mean, that's a good one. I like that one. Yeah, cool. There was also some clouds in there, and I think we'll call it.
Yeah, I'll probably call it there. I feel like that could have just gone on forever. I'm fine. I've moved on. I'm letting you go.
Yeah,
It's
so
fine.
introduce me for the 15-second pitch.
Oh,
Come on,
I have
Jordan.
to do everything for you.
Well, this is how we run
just
the.
not a very
This is how we run the
self-sufficient
ship.
individual, are
You
you,
guys,
Kieran?
we're going to do the 15-second pitch. That's what I should have done to kind of cue you, and then you'd have been like, "Oh, I need to get my timer." So what this is I try and sum up the film in 15 seconds, and if I get it wrong, Jordan slaps me in the face, and if I get it right, then I can just not be slapped, and that's a privilege in itself.
Are you ready?
Yeah,
I think I'm
same.
ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
There's a guy who's weedy and his dad's the chief of a village. They're Vikings. There's dragons and they want to kill the dragons. But the guy's like, oh no, save this dragon. Let's kill the really big, horrible dragon. And their father and son end up being friends in the end and he gets the girl.
Very
13
simplistic.
seconds.
Oh!
Miles off.
Miles off?
Miles off. 2 whole seconds.
Oh man. I mean, what else happens? I should have just left 2 seconds for like training montage and that'd have been cool.
I wasn't listening because I was just drinking my coffee.
Oh,
so-
for fuck. Okay, Chiara, what did you
Well,
think
all
of my
you-
15-second pitch?
All
Could
you
you do a
need
better
to
job?
do is cut training montage in because you've already said it. You just cut them together and you're done.
Oh, 15 seconds. Yeah, that would definitely cover it then. Okay, we'll fix it in post, and then Jordan will just have to get you saying 50.
Whoa, 15 seconds, Kieran. That's incredible.
Amazing.
Well, fantastic. Let's move on because it all definitely happened. Thank you. Chiara, could you do a better job? I'm offering for you to do a 15-second pitch if you
no,
like.
I feel like I can't because I like the film and I like the film so much that I want to explain all of it. So 15 seconds is not enough.
Do you want to take a lead on the synopsis then?
I mean, if you got an extra hour, then yeah, maybe.
Hey, let's make that 15 minutes and
just
then
trim it down.
Yeah,
cut off some of the edges.
Yeah.
Just take away some of the fan fiction.
Okay, Chiara, hit us with the synopsis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm putting you under the fire.
So, like a boy called Hiccup, he's born into a Viking society that kills dragons, and he's the son of the chief, but he's like kind of a misfit since he's weak and weedy and small. And
Not the chief, the kid.
Huh?
The way you said it was like, oh yeah, the chief, who is weedy and weak.
We got it, Kieran.
The
Stop
chief is
disrupting
not
her flow. She's doing great.
The chief is not weak and weedy and small. His son is like basically the chief's arm is the size of like 3 of his sons.
Got it.
And he can't really fight dragons, but he's super clever and really creative. So one day when there's like a dragon attack, because they always have a dragon attack, he brings out an invention that he's been working on to catch a dragon. And he ends up catching a Night Fury, which is like the most powerful dragon of all.
Sorry, can I just stop you there?
Yeah.
Night Fury!
Night Fury!
Yeah.
I should try and say the whole synopsis in a Scottish accent.
Please do. Please,
I'm really bad at it.
We can sing some bagpipes over the top of it. Come on, keep that drone going, Jordan.
So, his dad goes off to fight the dragons. Find the dragon's nest to try and stop them from attacking the village. I'm so bad, I can't.
Oh, sorry. I couldn't tell if you were doing the accent. As far as I got with the accent, I heard dragons.
Dragons.
Okay, so we'll say Night Fury and we'll say dragons in a Scottish accent. Agreed?
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Cool. So if the word dragons or Night Fury, but I can't do a Scottish accent, so can I just
shout it? Just shout it.
Okay.
Yeah. So Hiccup goes to kill the dragon, and he can't bring himself to do it. So he lets it go, and the dragon doesn't kill him, despite what he's been taught all his life, like to kill them. And then he follows the dragon, and I can't do this.
Like
And
so many of these things, it falls on its face so quickly. This will be a good idea. What if we fucking try and change all of the A's for U's? Because that's quirky.
The dragon.
The dragon.
The dragon.
No, that was in Trainspotting, was it not?
Yeah.
Let's see what I did there.
I did, but it wasn't great.
Oh, okay. All right, moving on.
Yeah, so he realizes that the dragon is missing part of his tail, so he can't fly away. So then he makes friends with the dragon and starts to discover all these cool things about them. And he names the dragon Toothless, the Night Fury, because he has like retractable teeth. And he also makes Toothless his tail, but Hiccup has to control it for it to work. So they both start practice flying around with Hiccup on his back, and it's very lovely. And when he goes back home, he's been put into dragon fighting training and manages to use all of his new knowledge that he's learnt from Toothless to like not kill dragons, but to subdue them or tame them and stuff. So people just think they're just really afraid of him, and he's some sort of crazy dragon lord prodigy, and becomes the top student in his village who has to kill like a really strong dragon in front of them all. Then one of his classmates, Astrid, gets suspicious, but also jealous because she's like the top dragon fighter, and she follows him when he goes to see Toothless, and she finds him, and he shows her that dragons aren't bad and that they're cute and lovely, and they go on a lovely romantic flight. And then his father comes back, and then
they were at war.
Yeah, he went to go and find their nest, but he failed.
Yeah, because like Hiccup, like when one of like Hiccup's little flights
Oh
with
yeah, yeah.
Toothless, they go and they find like the nest where like
Hmm.
there's the alpha dragon, and
Yeah.
when he comes back, he like sort of he sort of lets it slip, and then
Yeah.
his dad's like, "What?
Hmm.
Dragons?" And then
Yeah.
So
goes
so
and-
the father like captures and enchains Toothless,
Yeah.
and so he chucks them on the boat, and whilst the dad is going over to find where the nest is, he uses Toothless as like a GPS, and Astrid is like, so what are you gonna do to make sure Toothless and everything is fine? And what's his fucking name? Hiccup is like, I guess I'll do something crazy. And so he gets all of his buddies in the training camp, to gets them used to like flying dragons and shit. Oh, sorry, dragons. And so they all fly the dragons over to where the nest is. And so the dad is like, all right, let's fucking break down this mountain or whatever it is, like this big cave, break down the wall, and break down the wall, and then they go over to the hole, and there's like fucking thousands of dragons that fly out, and he's like, well, we just fucking nailed it, didn't we? But then they hear a massive and so there's the big horrible dragon comes out. Dragon comes out.
Well, we don't know he's horrible.
Well, he's
well,
controlling all the dragons to
eat
make
the other
them go and
dragons,
collect
though.
his food and
Yeah.
and
I
eat
think
them
we
if
can
they don't
presume
get
So it's
food.
intent.
probably quite horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bad boy.
He just
That's
had a bad
fair.
childhood. I
That's
mean, it's
fair.
not his fault, you know.
Yeah.
I just think he needs a bit of rehab. But unfortunately, he doesn't get to have that time because your man Hiccup comes along with all of his.
That's how Astrid says it.
Oh, okay. Hiccup comes. I just sound like a parrot. With Astrid and all of the dragon flying buddies, and they basically defeat this massive dragon. Hiccup does the whole fly in around with Toothless in the sky, and the big horrible dragon is about to fire a massive fireball at the Night Fury with Hiccup on it, but then the Night Fury just goes and fires it's a super fireball.
A super fireball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
well,
what's
Night Fury is
The,
just
the
that
rest of the
blue-
dragons are like, yo, constant steady flame. This is a fireball.
Yeah.
It's like a ball.
and it's
The-
blue.
A bomb. It's like a fire bomb.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So yeah, and he fires that into the big dragon's mouth, and so basically it just like explodes in his belly. The big horrible, stupid, nasty, big horrible dragon falls to the floor, dies, and the dad is like, "Well, my son's dead now because he's gone," and the Night Fury, Toothless, is still there, but the Toothless. I tried. I started saying that with a Scottish accent, but backed out as soon as I got to the th. It was like toothless. So manages to save Hiccup. Oh god, this is like a drama game. So the Hiccup has managed to survive the terrible fight against the big scary dragon, but now what's happened to him, Jordan?
Now he's alive.
And
He's also
He's legless.
he's legless.
He's one
Footless.
legless.
He's half a shinless, really.
Yeah.
He's down below the kneeless.
Yeah.
But so he gets fitted with some funky little attachment thing.
Yeah.
Like, well, it's like a metal
Gobber
foot,
made it.
But then, yeah.
Who made it? What's that?
Gobber.
what's that
Gobber.
person's-
Gobber.
Okay,
What's
alright.
his name? The guy who voiced him was a famous.
David Tennant?
No, David Tennant is in it, but he's a very minor role. What's his name? He was a presenter in America, like a Scottish presenter in America.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
Not with
Okay,
you.
Hang on.
And at the end of the film, Astrid's like, "Hey, you scared me, so I'm going to punch you on the arm." And she's like, "Oh, and this is for everything else," and kisses Hiccup. And I was like, "Way, nice one." So he gets the girl. I mean, they have a relationship. It's not all about him. So that's good. And now dragons are fully integrated into an inclusive society in the village of Burke.
It was Craig Ferguson.
Yeah, it's Craig Ferguson.
I don't know who that is though.
End of film.
Yeah, end of film. That was pretty easy to sum up, I'd say.
Chiara, your synopsis game.
Yeah,
pretty strong.
that was good.
Okay.
First thing pissed me off when he makes when he's like making the tail attachment, he's going off of like a sketch that he did.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to scale, and there's no measurements whatsoever involved. Like it's literally a quick sketch that he did that night of a thing that wasn't there. Like,
Do you think
he sketched the
Vikings-
tail as it was whole and then realised it wasn't whole and then just made the thing off of the sketch that he'd made with it whole.
Yeah, I mean, do you think Vikings do measurements?
It's also worth considering because he said it in the start of the film when there was the very first, like, there's dragons in my village scene, which that sounds a little bit like a children's book. There's dragons in my
It
village.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not scared.
I mean, how you do know How to Train Your Dragon was originally a book, a children's book, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that, no.
it's an adaptation of a book that already exists.
Oh, what was the original book called? Do you know?
How to Train Your Dragon.
Of course.
Inspired. Yeah. And so he says, oh yeah, it's a very, very old village, but all the buildings are new because the dragons just like put it all up in flames all the time. So it seems to me that they must be very, very good at building things. Yeah. And like visual arts and making things.
Yeah.
Because if they're constantly having to rebuild the same thing every single time, they're like, I can tell that that's going to fit that. And they just know all the measurements in their head. And also, all of the buildings that all go up in flames, every single time that they build a new building, they put all these mad, intricate Nordic vibe, squirrely little dragons and shit on top of the design. Yeah. It's like that's a lot of
the thing is,
attention put into it.
They're houses and they just stay there, whereas this is a mechanism for flight.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's
really
a completely
room for
novel
error.
concept, isn't it? Like he's not ever done that before.
Hiccup's not an aerospace engineer.
He could be.
He could be. See, the Viking equivalent of an aerospace engineer.
Yeah, he is.
So forget about his prodigy with regards to training dragons. Like we want him in like NASA or something like that, don't we?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe he started that all up. I felt like some of the Scottish accents towards the start of the film were a bit dodgy. It's almost like they did the first scenes and they kind of got used to the Scottish accent a bit more.
Into it.
Yeah.
Well,
my ears just got more acclimatized to it. I don't know.
That leads me on to my peeve for this film.
Okay. Go ahead.
Which is the kids are American.
Yes.
All of the kids are American.
Yeah.
And I love
that's
Jay
weird.
Baruchel. I don't think anyone else could be Hiccup because that's actually his real life voice.
Oh, okay.
He's like a grown man who speaks like that. But yeah, it bothers me that they're all American and then all the adults are Scottish.
It's just like speaks to that whole
Americanization.
Good guys being American, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's so that I mean it's a kids' film, isn't it? So it's meant for the kids to be the relatable part of the film almost. So that like children can watch it and relate to those characters, so they make them American, I guess, if they're marketing it generally towards a Western audience. But
so Scottish people are not relatable at all, even though they can relate. They can relate to like English people.
Not.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, Jordan, but at the
how
same
could
time,
you ever like imagine yourself Scottish?
I mean, maybe for some people they can't imagine themselves being American. I found it more unbelievable that their parents were all Scottish, but all spoke with Scottish accents.
Yeah,
and all the kids.
I mean, I
where
dick on
actually-
Scottish, but I'd much rather be Scottish than American, to be honest.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Yeah, there you go. Take that, America. Come at me,
Scots
bro.
are powerful.
I feel like out of all the people that you want to say, come at me, bro, Americans is not the
I
kind
don't
of people.
care.
Okay.
I did start this episode by explaining that I am a hard boy
A proper odd lad.
in a fort. A proper hard lad. That's me.
I mean, there was that
I'm
story
double
of
hard, mate.
the terrorist who arrived in Scotland and like in an airport, and he was about to blow up the airport, and a Scottish dude just like walked up to him and punched him in the face.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing about that. It's just like We don't need police over in Scotland. So we just sort that shit out ourselves.
Absolutely classic.
I mean,
So
they do
there'll be none of that over here. Thank you very much.
Are you fucking
Uh,
terrorist?
Where else
punch
do
in
we
the
get
face.
Scotland Yard from?
What?
What?
What are you saying?
What?
That I'm
Nothing.
wondering, how could they have actually? Okay, imagine ourselves in Viking times. How could those kids have actually got the American accents? What could
Yeah,
have
no,
happened?
it's impossible.
Yeah. But I mean, not necessarily that they would have been Scottish accents either. I'm not sure. Were Vikings Scottish?
Well, they were. Well, they
weren't,
they
were
were.
They were Nordic.
Well, but
Yeah,
they came
that's
to
true.
Scotland, didn't they? They
Yeah.
invaded pretty much as far as like.
But did they operate as Vikings out of Scotland?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
go on.
Well, I was just saying, what's really interesting is later on in the second film, you've got one character who has a sort of Irish accent, Irish twang, and then Kit Harington's in it too, and he's fully like British. He's like,
is he?
oh yeah, what?
I don't remember. I don't remember the second film enough at all.
He's in the third one too.
Oh, okay.
So what? So Kit Harington is like Cockney.
Yeah, he
Cockney
he
Viking.
speaks with an English accent.
That is.
He speaks like Kit
Interesting.
Harington, not Jon Snow.
Anyway, another one of my beefs, just because we were talking about building houses. Why do they just keep building the houses out of wood when they're constantly under attack by dragons that burn them?
What else would you build them out
that's
of?
all
though?
they
Stone.
have, right? Yeah, that's true.
They've got so much stone.
Yeah,
There's so
they
much
do.
stone.
Surely then
they
that
live on
would
an
be
island
worse.
that's stone.
Well,
Why would
maybe
it be
if
worse?
you're inside a house and it gets heated up by fire, you could just be roasted alive.
I suppose
inside.
it turns into an oven, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But that's the same that what happens with wood.
Yeah.
Well, it's true. What happens with wood?
But
Shut up.
I think if it was stone though, like you could probably, if it was heated up, you could just like stay outside of the house for a while, and then when you go in, you've got central
Yeah.
heating for like a good solid
Yeah,
like,
fuck, that's
day or
genius.
so.
A good solid day. Well, is that how fire works?
I
I'm not
mean,
sure if that's how heat and fire work.
It maybe keep the rock. Okay, there's more potential for it to stay warm than for fire, than for wood to wood doesn't stay warm; it just burns.
Yeah.
Whereas rocks are gonna stay toasty. It'd be
Yeah.
like a steam room in there.
Have you
Maybe
ever-
holy shit! Maybe that's how steam rooms came about.
Nope.
There were dragons,
Dragons.
flying
Nope.
around
Yeah.
stone houses, and then they were like, "Oh, my pores are so much cleaner now." As soon as they went through their house, their steamed house.
That was the first
I'm
thing they were
sure-
thinking.
Yeah, I'm
Running
sure
out
all
into the street
Vikings
with
know
all their
what pores are.
possessions. It's like, oh, we need to get out of here, but honey, quickly, can I just say your paws? Wow.
You look so fresh.
Who are you and what have you done with my wife? You look 20 years younger.
Oh God.
I've got
Yeah.
some beefs again about the building of the wings and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's like a mini montage with like the first time he goes and builds the wing,
The shit
and it's
one.
like, yeah, the shit one, and it's like there's no way that you would have been able to make that in an evening. And second of all, when he makes the saddle, like that is a lot of work.
Mhm.
Making a saddle, a full-on leather saddle, like it goes from one shot where he's like just taking the needles out, and then the next shot is instantly like, ta-da, whole saddle. No, I reckon.
Let's not forget,
that's
he
what a
is a
montage
Viking
is
aerospace
for.
engineer. Like,
Okay.
he's capable of quite incredible things.
But that's like the purpose of a montage is that there's no specified like time. It can be a montage of a night or it could be a montage of a month.
I don't know,
there's
I
because
feel like
he
if you're,
do- he
getting
does-
if you're getting a montage of a night, you've got to feel pretty shortchanged.
yeah,
mean?
well, it
A
happens.
montage's got to be like, if I'm watching a montage, I want at least like a week's worth of progress.
Nah,
at the very
I
least.
disagree because they said he said, oh yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, and so he comes back the next day with the saddle.
Yeah,
That's
does
what
he?
I'm
Okay,
thinking.
Okay.
I have no more beefs. I've just got some bits and bobs.
Oh really? I got a couple.
Okay.
When they were flying all of these are all completely out of order now because they're just sort of floating in my head. But when the kids took the dragons and went to go and save everyone from the alpha,
Yep.
Yeah, this is
Um,
my beef too, I think.
yeah, how comes like those dragons didn't get all fucked up by the alpha? Like they were just totally fine attacking.
Well,
Yeah.
because look at their tactics though. Like,
No, but I mean, how comes they didn't just automatically become part of that? Like, you know, how all of the dragons like all got like a homing beacon like triggered, and then like flew over to the alpha dragon,
'Cause-
and were getting it food and everything.
no.
They have the
No.
power of human love.
Okay, that is
They have
as a
the
possible
power of being necessary to the plot.
the power of
It's
film
true.
magic. The big fuck off dragon, he went "Roar!" and then all of the other dragons, they all pissed off, like because they were all scared.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that happened at another point in the film as well, where they all left because they're all scared. They didn't just stay there. So I think when it comes to a certain point, like when they've got food and that, like they know what they have to do with it, and so they get drawn to it. So, but when they're scared, then they'll piss off. You know?
But they're not scared, and they're not being drawn to it. But why? This is my question.
I don't understand your question.
Like, they're not scared because they're going at it with the humans on board.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, a lot of the whole like alpha call, like a lot of those questions are answered in How to Train Your Dragon 2, but it still doesn't make sense because the way that Hiccup like protects the dragons from being taken by the callers, he puts a blindfold over Toothless's eyes and ears so he can't see or hear. But
Yeah.
that doesn't really explain anything because
But that doesn't happen in this first one.
Yeah,
so
exactly. So they
why
kind
is
of
it
make
still-
it worse.
It's almost like they realized that was a massive gaping issue and then had to make a second film to clear it up.
Yeah.
I don't know because I feel like, let's say you're.
Well, I do know, Kieran.
Well, I want to put something else to you.
No.
Right. Let's say you're a stormtrooper, right? You're scared as shit of Darth Vader, so you're going to do whatever Darth Vader asks you to do, yeah?
Right.
Or
But-
run away.
But if Darth Vader if Darth Vader's about to kill you,
Mm.
you're not just going to submit. You're going to still try and defend yourself in a way or
It's
another.
true.
I don't know, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he might get you for
But
sure.
he might give you a merciful quick death if you don't fight back.
Yeah, but if you do fight back, you might survive.
But you're probably not going to survive, are you?
I'd take my chances.
And what if like generally life as a stormtrooper isn't as great as it's sort of worked up to be, and actually maybe the sweet embrace of death could be something to look forward to?
You
Well,
think
what if I'm a
dragons have existential crises like that?
Well, if they've like spend so much of their time like out in the sky, like looking at the stars and the sea, and really like questioning their place in the world.
No, I don't think that at all. Because if you look at Toothless is just like a cat with wings and big.
Yep.
That's what Toothless is.
Big cat with wings, yeah.
Yeah, a big cat with wings. And so when you look at a cat having existential crises,
Yeah.
like that's a cat doesn't do that.
I was about to say, where is this going?
Exactly.
Cats
A cat
don't have
when you
them.
look at a cat that's smoking a pipe and writing poetry, you think, well, that's not right.
Yeah, because it doesn't
That
happen.
shouldn't be
That's a
happening,
figment of
because
your
it doesn't
imagination.
happen, no.
Because cats don't do that.
No.
They just don't. They don't question themselves too much. They just are assholes the whole
Yeah.
time. So I'm saying because cats aren't an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Because cats don't question their existence, and because Toothless is like a cat, therefore dragons do not question their
But I
existence.
think that dragon intelligence is considerably higher. Like, Toothless seems to be able to figure out
It depends.
some shit.
Yeah, it depends on the
Like,
breed.
Yeah, like, and
Understands human
exactly. Yeah,
communication as
he
well.
can almost understand English as well. Like, there's times when things
Oh,
are
yeah.
said to him, and he sort of understands what's
sure.
going on.
And
Whereas
also
a
he can
cat-
hold.
a cat doesn't do that.
Yeah, but listen, he can hold a grudge, and cats can hold a grudge too. Because he was holding a grudge against Astrid for the whole time. Like he basically kidnapped Astrid and like took him flying in all these different places. And that's when
Yeah.
that's where Hiccup says the amazing line, "Thank you very much, you useless reptile," or something like that.
Yeah, there are
Um,
some really, really great lines.
yeah,
in
and
the film.
but it's only when Astrid's like, "I'm sorry," that's when Toothless goes, "Oh, okay," and chills out a bit.
Yeah, and Toothless's understanding of everything kind of keeps growing as the films go on. So, but I just think Night Furies are really, really intelligent.
You just think what are really intelligent?
Night Fury.
Night
Oh.
Furies.
Thank you, thank you. Jordan, do you have any more beefs?
It's another classic one of those ones where at the end of the film, the main character is said to be dead, but he's not dead. Like, there was the last film that we watched, or there was a film that we watched recently. I can't remember now. Off the top of my head.
What Drishium?
It might have been
when they dug the body out of the floor.
Yeah. Like, it's this whole like massive, like, drawn out. We're digging the body out, but the body isn't going to be there.
It's a different thing.
But and then in this one, and it's like he's like grabbed like Hiccup, but you don't see that, and then everyone's like sad, and it's like, oh no, Hiccup's dead. Oh, Hiccup's dead. It's like he's obviously not dead. He's obviously not dead.
Yeah, but you know that as a massive cynic, and also as someone who knows that you're watching a kids' film. Like, you're not gonna take your kid to the cinema and have the hero of the film be killed. That's just not gonna happen.
Well, Kieran, you haven't seen the second one.
No. Yeah, but there is a number 3, so I know that he's still alive. I've seen the posters. I've seen the fucking posters.
Yeah.
He's still alive.
I know. I'm not talking about. Yeah, okay. I'll shut up.
Oh my! Don't do this to me.
I'm not.
The only thing you can confirm is that he is still alive. You can't confirm anything else.
I've seen
You
the poster.
literally
I've seen him, Toothless, Astrid, and a white dragon. Like, that's all the stuff that I've seen from How to Train Your Dragon 3. And I don't want to have any else of it spoiled.
Okay.
Yeah,
do you want to move on to some bits and bobs?
Yes,
well,
I do.
I have a beef, but not.
okay, go ahead.
Not a plot beef. I have a general, the world is stupid beef that I'm
like
still
those.
angry about. Is that the soundtrack didn't win an Oscar, and it was
Yeah, that's
nominated, and it lost to The Social Network, and I'm still angry. And this was in 2010. It's been 9 years, and I'm
Got
still
all of
mad.
that 9 years of rage pent up inside you.
Yeah, but yeah, that's my last beef. I just had to get it out.
When Hiccup goes up in the sky with Toothless for the first time, and there's all of that big music. A friend of mine was transcribing that stuff, so I was
Yeah,
like, oh
it's-
yeah, I'm going to listen out for the music in particular.
It's called Test Drive.
Ah, cool.
That piece of music.
Wow, have you been
There you
listening to
go.
the soundtrack on Spotify or something like that?
Yeah,
I feel like Chiara's got the soundtrack like permanently implanted in her brain. to be honest.
it is honestly. Dun, 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 dun,
Oh wow! I mean, it's good. It's good. I just didn't. I didn't have it. Okay, I don't. I feel
Wait,
like
is this your outcome of the film now?
no,
It's good.
No.
It's all right.
No,
I liked the dragons.
No, but the soundtrack. I did really like the soundtrack. I just feel like it wasn't as exposed as it could have been, which I would. That's
Well,
an annoying
that
thing
means it's a
about.
good soundtrack.
What,
If you didn't
it's so good that you
Notice
can't hear
that
it.
much. Well, the thing about film music is it shouldn't distract from what you're watching. It should enhance it. So if you're not fully thinking about it, then actually it's doing its job.
That's not a bad
Wise
shout
words.
actually, because when we come to when we think about like the shom shom, shom and
Very distracting.
that film, that was the most distracting thing.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Should we go to some bits and bobs? Now, on the topic of houses and having them always going up in flames, it must be so hard to get like contents insurance or house insurance back in those times.
Come on, they don't have insurance. They're
insurance.
Vikings.
But all of the Vikings have different jobs. you know?
Everything's shit compared to Valhalla.
What are you on about?
When you die as a Viking, you go to the
As a
Great Hall in
man.
the sky.
Oh,
Only men
right.
go
So,
to
like,
Valhalla.
why would you care about insuring anything when you're literally trying to go out into battle to die to go to that place?
Well, that's, at the same time, though, when you come back from battle, you want to make sure that your house is still taken care of. You know. Also, let's say you.
Oh man, I'm imagining you as like this proper, like spindly insurance Viking man that doesn't go out like to the wars. And like everyone comes back and you're like proper just like looked down on, like, but everyone has to use you because you're the only insurance.
Yeah, of course. What if you've?
If you want your pieces to be good when you come back from the glorious battle, I won't return from the glorious battle. Well, if you do, you want them insured.
Exactly.
I don't
What if
like
you're
this guy.
a wife? if you're a wife, I mean, I'm not sure on my Viking history. My idea is that most of the fighting Vikings were men, and the women
No,
Yeah. Oh, no,
No,
yeah,
they
like
had
did
shield
women,
maidens.
yeah.
They actually, it was quite a
Shield
big
maiden, you're
deal.
right.
Like lots of other cultures were like, oh shit, these guys, they're
all
women
savages.
fight, and they're all as dangerous as the men.
In that
Yeah.
case, I completely take it back. But if you were a house person, so neither man or woman specifically, but if you are a house person, then you might want to have, some life insurance for your spouse who goes out, fights in the wars, comes back. All of the earnings are completely gone. Where are all your sheep going? They go to the state now. Now, like the chief of the village is keeping all of your
Wow.
all of your sheep.
Wow.
So if you had life insurance, or if for your partner, then it would ensure that the sheep could be passed down, and so that your kids could have the sheep as well.
There is absolutely no way that anyone could ever say that you haven't thought about this.
Yeah, it was a lot of what I was thinking about for the first half of the
It's
film.
the first thing people think about when they watch How to Train Your
Yeah.
Dragon is life insurance.
Yeah.
The next thing I was thinking about is that at the very least, Hiccup should have had an iPhone to take a picture of Toothless.
Now you're being silly.
No.
No. Well,
Now you're just being silly.
I don't like taking all of the conversation. Let's take this seriously, okay, guys? Very seriously. I don't think they have currency. They just all
Shit,
provide
no,
for
yeah,
each
you're
other.
right. Actually, it's like very trading, isn't it?
it's a
Like,
barter system, barter economy.
because
Resources.
Stoic at some point says, "I have an entire village to feed," so it's quite
Right.
clear that he's
Right.
leading the providing, but they're all providing for each other.
I
And
wonder
to
what
be
the
honest-
politics are. Was he? He wasn't like a king, was he? He was
He's the
the
chief.
of the
the
village.
chief. Chief was the word, right?
Yeah,
Right.
he's the chief.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was like as far as it as passing down the lineage of chief the chief lineage, chieftain lineage, whatever that is.
Yeah. The
it-
chieftage.
Chiefness.
Yeah, the chieftage. Thank you. It goes
That
from
was it, wasn't it?
No, I don't think
I
it
think
is.
it was.
But I'll take it.
Chieftage.
Chieftage. No, it sounds a bit weird, but whatever. If it went like father, son, father, son, father, son, and all of the fathers and sons
Or
were-
mum.
Well, sure.
Oh, you mean daughter?
Or daughter.
I'm just saying that. Okay, I don't know enough about Viking history to be able to say.
Just about. Go on. Just say what it
If-
is you've got to say.
if
God damn it,
fucking
Kieran.
hell, if it went parent to sibling,
Yeah.
Wait,
and go
sorry,
on.
you said sibling.
No, okay, sorry. Parent to
Parent to
child,
offspring.
Yeah.
parent to offspring every single time.
Yeah.
And if they were all buff and authoritative, I think
Right.
the rest of the village would be like, yeah, all good with that. That's totally fine.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
That's cool with
We
me.
have no desires for power whatsoever.
Exactly. But then if the offspring is like some weedy little shit, like Hiccup
Hiccup,
maybe,
yeah.
then they might be like, you know what? I think we might
I'm gonna
have to
challenge your right to power.
Oh.
might
Overthrow.
have to Black Panther
Yeah.
this, or we might have to like elect something.
Let's go fight on a waterfall.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly how they do it.
Yeah. So I think that's probably how that gets
So you just
passed
think
down.
there might have been some issues there?
Well, no, because as far as it stands now, it's fine. Now, if you're about to tell me that the fucking dad dies in the second film, and then who becomes the chief of the village, I don't know, because maybe
You don't think it would be Hiccup in that situation?
maybe, but
I mean-
I, as much as he can deal with all the
He armed
dragons,
the people with dragons.
okay, I mean that's quite a big deal, but I don't think he can deal with the emotional
Ugh.
responsibility of feeding everyone.
I
He doesn't seem as much
I
of
will
a
let
father
you into
as
a cool fact, though.
I'm ready for
So
this.
you know how I said that David Tennant was in the film, but a minor role.
Mhm.
He's Snotlout. So Snotlout is the show-off kid, right? He's his father, and
Wait, what?
he's the second in command after Stoic. So I think if that happened, it would be his dad, probably.
Ah, okay. Because I did notice that one of the guys close to Stoic around the table did look precisely like the show-off kid.
Yeah, that's his dad, and that's
Right,
David
I thought so.
Tennant.
How are you going to call your kids Snotlout?
I
Like,
mean, they all have pretty
If
bad
snot
names.
still means the same thing, why would you name someone after that?
Yeah.
To scare away spirits and things or something.
It's
He
like
says
calling
something about
someone
that.
Booger Dick.
Phlegm face. Sort of. Book a dick.
I mean, would you rather be called Snotlout or Fish Legs?
I kind of like fish legs, to be honest.
It works well with the deer
There's
slip and
some
slide,
interesting
doesn't it?
story behind that. It's like, hey, we went down and we did the job. We were working with fish legs. Oh, you ain't heard about fish legs? He got no legs. He just got some fish down there.
You know, he's so slippy, we call him fish legs.
He swim like a fish.
But he got legs, so we call him fish legs.
His face, he looked like a fish, but he got legs. So he's a man kind of thing, but a man fish. But we already got a friend called Man Fish. We had to call him Fish Legs.
It's the best we can do.
That's how we became part of the Aquaforce.
Oh my god.
So you got Aquaforce, where you got Fishman, then you got Fish Legs. But then you've only got 2 people on the force. So what do you call the remaining people? Because they all have to have something to do with fish.
Gilgal.
Yeah,
Gilgal. That's good. That's a strong one.
The tail twins.
The tail twins. I like that.
Flipper boy.
Flipper boy. Yeah.
Web.
Web woman.
I'm trying to do something with the web woman. Because she's got web hands.
That's a spider. That's upside.
No, web hands.
That's upside.
What? Okay,
We
I just
are
wanted to
really
explore the
straying
names.
away from How to Train Your Dragon.
Liquid lad.
Saltwater Sam.
Freshwater Fred.
Oh my
Riverside
God.
Robin.
Seaweed
okay.
Sally.
There we go.
Backside Bobby. Right. Oxbow
So
Lake
you
Ollie.
see exactly, yeah. You say right like you're ready to move on, even though you know you're not ready.
No,
I can
you.
see
Still
you
thinking of
literally
more
thinking
names.
of other ones.
Water Cycle Walter. Come on.
No.
Stick with me.
No.
Stick with me. Okay. I've got
The guys are guys.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay. Now, so there's the manual on the dragons. All the
Dragons.
writing on the dragons, and all the writing is in like some kind of Nordic scripture.
Yeah.
Do you think that is actual Nordic scripture?
No.
Chiara, do you have any more information on this?
I don't actually know. This feels like something I should know.
It looks legit
like
to me.
They put a lot of detail into it, so it might be.
Okay, that's as far as I can really consider like that they would go.
Yeah.
And I mean, what I'm saying is like, I can totally believe that they would either have like made it look super convincing, but equally, I could also believe that it's not accurate at all.
Yeah,
Okay, I think they
when
do
he
actually
turns-
use. I'm just reading this. I just googled it real quick, and it's on the How to Train Your Dragon Wikipedia. The Viking alphabet is an alphabet that Vikings of the barbaric archipelago used to read and write.
So
Huh.
did they put it? So is it legit?
Yeah, it's literally talking about most of the text shown appears in the Dragon Manual when Hiccup was looking up information about Night Furies and how to. Blah,
Yeah,
blah,
because
blah.
I
But
remember it
basically,
looks
yeah, it
like
is.
the word Night
It is a
Fury.
legit
When you
thing.
look at the title, the last
Yeah.
word looks like a Y and all. So it looks pretty legit.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, cool. I've got something.
no.
Go ahead.
So, is there anyone, Chiara, you'd like to be?
Hey! I've got a really, really, really big question.
Go on.
I'm sorry. Would you rather go, Jordan, because you've been to space camp? Would you
Right.
rather go to space camp or dragon training camp?
Oh my god, dragon
Well,
training. Holy
Dragon
shit.
training camp would mean that dragons exist. That's a much more exciting
Yeah, for sure.
reality than space camp, which was, to be honest, pretty shit.
But hey, that's not what you painted to me.
No, outside of space camp was great, but actually doing the space camp was pretty shit.
Really?
Yeah. It was just long. Like, they made you get up early and do science.
But you're not going to die in space camp. Whereas you probably, well, you might do in dragon training camp.
Well,
yeah,
I
there's more
wouldn't
chance of
wanna
you falling
do-
asleep in space camp.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do dragon training to kill dragons. I'd want to ride
Yeah,
them.
this is to ride in dragons.
Yeah.
Ah.
This is
This is
now we
after-
train the dragons. We don't kill the dragon. Have you watched
yeah,
the film?
after
Yeah,
the
okay, I'm
first
with you
film.
Do you want to go ahead with the beings then?
Well, yeah. I mean, does anyone want to just go first?
No.
Right, okay.
This I had a really hard time finding one that like really stuck out to me because I was thinking, okay, the dad says some really horrible stuff like "You're not my son," which I thought was
Yeah.
really,
Shit.
really shit because that's going to scar him. Okay, I'm going to say this: the dad shouldn't have said "You're not my son" anymore. I feel like he should have said something like "I'm disappointed in you," because sure, he doesn't understand
Right.
Hiccup and that's wrong, but he shouldn't have said "You're not my son" anymore
Right.
or whatever it was that he said to
Of
that
course.
effect. So I would be the dad and not say "You're not my son" anymore.
Okay. Under that
Just-
condition.
Fix that parenting issue there.
Yeah.
Okay. Stick a parental advisory sticker on.
Yeah.
Well, I
You
just
have been
maybe
advised.
maybe you have been advised. Parent under advise.
Yeah.
Parent under advisory. Is that what I'm trying to say?
No,
Parent
I
under
believe
guidance.
the term is parent under advisory.
You got it there.
Yeah.
You got it there with like 3
That's
R's at
definitely
the end
it.
of that word.
Yeah.
Chiara, who would you be in the film to change the film at all?
I mean, it depends on who. Because who would I be? Like, who I am now, I feel like I'm a combination of all the kids, like, as a
Right.
person. Like, Hiccup's a huge loser. Me.
Wow. Shots
Fish
fired.
legs.
I Hiccup.
Fish Legs likes to eat loads. Me.
Mhm.
Snotlout wants attention. Me. The twins are annoying as fuck. Me. And Astrid's a girl. Me.
Okay.
But I think I would
Like
want
some sort
to
of like Mighty Morphing Power Rangers all form into
Yeah,
one
exactly.
to make Chiara.
Yeah, and she's
Giant
like the
mecha Chiara.
Yeah. she's the singular girl, and I'm always
No, she's
the
not.
girl
No, she's not.
among men. Like, no, in the group. Oh yeah, shit, one of the twins. I forget she's
Yeah.
a girl.
It isn't incredibly obvious.
She's not, but yeah.
Because she doesn't.
And-
Because she doesn't stick up to your stereotypes of what a woman is. Wow,
No,
Chiara.
yeah.
Check
it's just because I
yourself.
like lumped her in the twins.
Right. Non-gender
But-
specific twins.
Yeah, exactly. She might not identify as a girl. How dare you?
Exactly. Come on, Kieran. 2019, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Turning it back on me.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But I think I would want to be
It's a
Astrid,
woke
'cause
off.
she's my favorite character.
It's a woke off.
Girl. Yeah, no,
gonna
Astrid's
Get
my
my biodegradable
favorite.
popcorn out.
Astrid's my favorite human, so I would want to be her.
I'm sorry, Chiara. Did you hear Jordan saying biodegradable popcorn? Did you hear him saying
Yeah,
that?
I
all
just didn't find
popcorn
it
is
funny.
biodegradable.
Because that's exactly what I was
I
thinking,
just
Jordan.
ignored it because it wasn't very funny.
Wise. Good move.
Thanks for highlighting it, though, Kieran.
And I'm
That's-
talking about my love for Astrid. Can you just please listen to me?
Oh, it's the attention coming through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Jordan,
exactly.
who would you be?
No, you go.
I just did mine.
Okay, yeah, shit. Because part of me wants to just be toothless, just because that would be fun.
But you're doing that thing again, Jordan, where you're like, oh, I want to be them because that would be cool. That's not enough.
I mean, that's
It's not
what I
enough.
did with Astrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're a guest. That's different.
Thanks.
Okay. So what I would probably do is be Hiccup, but introduce Toothless into the Viking community sooner rather than later. Like once I'd figured out I could ride Toothless, I'd be like, right, now I've got like a Night Fury. So I need to use that to sort of gain weight and favor. You know what I mean? Like so.
You need to use
So
that-
the
I
way
mean,
that it
Hiccup
happens,
does
it
need
all
to
sort
gain
of
some weight.
I need to use a Night Fury to get a nutritional program going on.
Yeah, well, have you not got any of Toothless's fitness
what?
DVDs?
Fitness. Just imagining
How
like
to train your body with Toothless?
like toothless in like vibrant coloured leggings or something like that.
I definitely see
And
that.
jump.
But no, because when it all happens, when it's all sort of revealed, is when Toothless has, when Hiccup has to kill the other dragon.
Kill the dragon.
right?
Yeah.
And and he gets into trouble, and then Toothless realizes, and like Toothless comes to try and help him.
Mhm.
Like that could all be avoided if Toothless just like strolls into Burke on Toothless. Like, sorry, if
Yeah.
Hiccup strolls into Burke on Toothless, they're not gonna like try and kill it straight away because he's on top of it. So they're gonna be like, "What the fuck's going on?" At
Nah.
first, and then he's gonna be like, "Whoa, don't! It's fine. Look, he's just basically a big cat with wings. Everybody, chill out."
So I'm down with that. I've got one edit though.
Okay.
I wouldn't have him stroll in because I still feel like all the Vikings would just tumble on him and be like, "Oh, if Hiccup broke a leg, and fuck it, he's gonna break it. He's gonna lose it for anyway.
So what? Flying?
Just like hover off the side of the village.
Right.
I'm
And be
sure they
like,
have bow and arrows.
Hey.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, you guys, like, put your bows down, because he could just fly out of the way of the bows, or
Yeah,
like,
that's
or he
true.
could just kind of get Toothless to like shoot some fire on the bows, and then they would just all turn to
Or
cinders.
just what if he just like zoomed really quickly across and just like tried to construct a sentence over multiple? Hey, you guys! I figured it out. We can ride dragons.
That seems like a very
super sweet.
DreamWorks thing to do, actually.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I
wouldn't
could
it?
see that happening in the film.
But in their shit films,
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks. Yeah.
which there are a lot.
Less of that, please. Thank you.
Jordan, if you were to bring someone into the film, though, who would you bring?
Ooh.
Okay, Jordan hasn't come up with one yet. Kiara, do you have an idea?
Yeah, I've thought of it, but it would be like an Easter egg in the background.
Brilliant.
So it's
Nice.
very, very short, like no one of significance. It would be Ash Ketchum from Pokemon, right? But he like,
Just in
and
the
in the
background
middle
on
of
the
the
Charizard.
yeah, in the middle of the in the middle of a battle with the dragons, he like tries to throw a Pokeball at a dragon, and the dragon just eats him whole.
Oh wow. Okay. And that's the end of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pikachu just like crying.
I've got quite a limited knowledge of Pokemon. I liked the cartoons.
But you know who Ash Ketchum is, though.
That's the main kid, right?
Yeah.
Is it technically anime?
Yeah.
Okay. So I
Yeah.
watched the anime when it was on like Channel 6 or whatever. And I've maybe seen like 5 episodes or something. I thought the game was shit, and I just couldn't deal with the game at all. I'm
Wow.
sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. I just
Yeah, that is
I
disappointing.
found it so incredibly
Yay.
boring. So how dare you? How very dare you? But
How
I-
very dare you?
the one bit of Pokemon knowledge I can instill here is Charizard. Is that not a dragon?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
why did you not
He
just get him
thinks-
in to use Charizard?
He
That's
thinks
why-
they're all Charizards.
Ah, that's cute.
Yeah, so he's trying to catch him. If the only dragon you'd ever seen is Charizard, then you go over to Burke, you're like, whoa, more Pokemon.
Whoa.
That's pretty.
Whoa.
Cool.
Well, there are other
How the fuck
other
did I
dragon
get here?
Pokemon. There are other dragon Pokemon, but Charizard's the main one.
You just look at Pikachu and be like, I don't want to deal with you anymore. Like, you're way too high maintenance.
I've got yeah.
You're out.
Kieran, have you got a bring?
I'd bring in Fireman Sam.
Okay.
I mean that makes sense.
What about his black and white cat?
That's Postman Pat. Thank
It
you very
is.
much.
I was just seeing if you. It was just a test.
Come on, it rhymes. It rhymes.
Fireman Sam, Fireman Sam,
Sam,
Fireman Sam,
Fireman
and his
Sam
black
and
and
his
white
black
hat.
and
Ban.
white.
Yeah, great. No, I would have Fireman Sam in because like the way they were putting out fires in the first scene
Yeah.
was with like pails of water. Like
Yeah.
there's no chance that they're putting out any of those fires with a tiny little bit of water. They'd have to just
Well,
let
they
all
do
of the
d-
houses burn.
They do develop a lot better in the other films, like all their inventions and stuff.
Well, Chiara, I'm sorry that I can't just like bring in an integrated like sewage plumbing system in the first film. And we're talking about the first film actually. So just dealing with the first film, like I think Fireman Sam would just be a short-term solution for a long-term issue. Just have him in there, put out some of the fires, make everyone happy, and then he'd be like, you know what, you guys sort this out before the second film, but I'll just put out some fires for you in this first film. Is that sorted out?
Yeah, I think that's the
I guess. Yeah.
good one.
Yeah?
I mean, Ash can
okay.
just bring a fucking, I don't know, water Pokemon to do that.
Yeah, but Fireman Sam comes
Fireman Sam.
with the theme tune, which is one of the greatest
That's
theme
very.
tunes.
Fireman Sam.
But what about the Pokemon theme tune?
Nah, it's not as good as Fireman Sam.
I mean, it's a very good theme tune.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably better than Fireman Sam.
See, I don't think it's the very best.
I'm not going to entertain that. I'm not going to entertain that.
Jordan,
I
who would
understood
you
that
bring
reference.
into the film?
I kind of want to bring in Baldric from Blackadder, but I want him to be.
Yes. I mean-
I want him to be Hiccup Squire.
I want Baldric in every situation, so I'm down
Can you
for
just
this.
like imagine an animated Baldric? I can just imagine it so perfectly. It just works in my head.
How did you come up with this, Jordan?
When you started mentioning the sewerage, then I just thought of medieval, and then I thought
Baldric.
Blackadder, and then I thought Baldric.
And then all the
Right.
dragons come in, and he's there like, boom, boom, boom.
And yeah, just coming up with cunning plans for doing stuff, for getting rid of the dragons.
Right.
And then saving the dragons. He could be working with Hiccup on studying Toothless whilst
And
he's
he grows
doing
turnips.
school. Yeah.
Wait, what? What? He grows turnips. Is
Yeah,
that?
he
Is
loves
that a,
turnips.
Is that a Baldric thing? Loves turnips.
Yeah, he loves his turnips.
Baldric, small, bald, white, loves turnips.
He's not bald.
Yeah.
Is he bald?
I mean,
No,
called
he's not
Baldric,
bald.
I kind of assumed.
Yeah, he's got probably a bald patch, but he's always wearing a
Yeah.
hat.
So you never know.
We
guess
never
not.
know.
Now-
It's a mystery.
Chiara, would you stay
Yeah.
indoors to watch How to Train Your Dragon?
I have to think about this. I have stayed indoors many, many times. I
And you
also
will do
stayed
again.
indoors for a very long time trying to make a costume for it. So I think pretty safely say yes.
Okay, cool.
Kieran, would you?
I absolutely would stay indoors to watch How to Train Your Dragon, and I think I will do when I watch the other two ones as well.
Yeah.
I would stay indoors, but now for the more important question, as we've all seen it before, does it hold up?
Yes, it holds up the second time round.
So the second time round seeing it, Chiara, did it hold up for you? Well, not the second time
I mean,
round, I suppose.
I was about to say that's a very long time ago that I saw it. That was back in 2010. Yeah. I think the thing, okay, when I rewatched it very recently, it's because I rewatched the first one after I watched the third one in the cinema, and
Yeah.
it does hold up, but it's kind of like because it was made a long time ago, the graphics have really improved, and
Yeah, right. I was thinking
everything
this.
has
I was like,
improved.
everyone's
so
hair
much.
looks kind of greasy.
Yeah, exactly. But it's still a beautiful film. Like it's still really, really well done. But it's one of those things where it hasn't. Some of it is aged well, and some of it you can see that it's a 2010 animation.
I like how easy it is to watch. I like how in the very first scene, it's like, let me set up this film for you.
Yeah.
And he explains his whole village. It's like, oh, I just like the
Mhm.
simplicity of that.
I do think, having seen the second one, that now I feel like they should just be one film almost, the first one and the second one.
Really?
In as much as the sort of ending I felt was a bit came out of nowhere, and then like there isn't really like a driving bad guy, like a big bad guy, until we see the big alpha dragon, and
Yeah.
there's only like sort of one fight right at the end. But even then, I don't know, it's just like the situations that bring us to that, it all happens so quickly that it feels
Yeah,
like
at
they
the
spend so
end.
much time establishing the world that to actually have like a main sort of villain, as it were.
Yeah, well, I
Whereas
think that was
obviously
the
having seen the
intention.
second one and the story behind that, which I don't want to necessarily spoil right now, but I feel like it just wants to go straight into that from well, I mean, you know, they make films where they go straight into them, but it feels almost as if it's incomplete having watched the second one.
But
Yeah, I mean, it'd be really, really long.
Oh yeah.
think about the first, what you were saying about with the villains and stuff. For me, the villain at the start of the film was the dad. And for a long time, the villain was the dad because he never understood Hiccup.
Right.
And it was like, I'm just rooting for Hiccup no matter what. And
Yeah.
and then when he brings the when Hiccup bloody hell, when Toothless shows up at the point where Hiccup has to kill a dragon, that's when shit goes down, and that's when you really see the father as the villain. But you
Yeah.
also know that there's this big fuck off dragon, so we got to do something about it. So I understand that the whole big fuck off dragon as the scary villain is
Yeah.
not as big of a deal as, I guess, a villain that would have been there from the start of the film. However, I don't feel like it comes entirely out of the blue.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I suppose the thing is for me is that it's like it's just like almost like a boss. Like there's no character behind it.
Oh yeah,
Like
for sure.
we don't think we don't know anything about it. We just know it's big. Like that's literally all it sort of has. It's big and it eats other dragons.
Okay, at the risk of potentially being like talking about the second film more and more and more, it feels to me like in order to achieve what you would want from, I think what you're saying is like we need more backstory on why the big fuck off dragon did what he did.
Yeah, just like why
like
is
setting
it
up
there? How did it get there? What does it want? You know,
what are its
just-
motives?
Yeah,
like who is
Yeah.
a
it?
little
for
bit
sure.
more. That's all I want.
Sure, but that would make the film a lot longer, and it feels to me like that's what is that. Am I right by saying that's what happens in the second film?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. You guys, are we going to do the second and third film?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Even though they might not be in the top 250.
Yeah, I think the second one is my favorite one.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
potentially, listeners, dear listeners, you know what? Next week we've got some films planned. Well, we've got one film planned, but at this stage, we might just watch the second How to Train Your Dragon. So stay in the loop. We'll probably let you know, and we'll just see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
And Chiara might not be here, so I tell you what, we'll just say bye now.
But before we
Yeah.
do that, Chiara, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean it's being edited now and the music's being written, but I did a short film because I am one of those terrible people who goes to film school.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know.
Gross.
And I was the DOP, and it's called Braids.
What
and
does DOP mean?
Oh, director of
Dick on
photography.
point.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
But was your dick on point, though?
It was very on point. Yeah, for sure. It always is. Of course.
Hello, my name is Kieran. Nice to meet you. I've got DOP, and I'm here. Bye.
Cinematographer, that's what it is.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
So I press buttons on a camera and put lights up and things. And yeah, it's not out yet, but it will be soon in March. So
Where can people find it when it comes out?
I don't know yet.
This is good. This is
Okay.
great
I'm
for
not the-
plugs.
I'll ask the producer.
Okay. Well, everyone, just be aware. Chiara's working on a film. It's coming
Yeah,
out.
fo-
We'll let you know.
Follow
where.
me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter,
What is
and you'll
your
know.
Twitter, please?
My Twitter is Chiara, ChiaraM Fulgoni, Fulgoni.
All right.
We'll link it in the comments.
Yeah, please just link
in the
it.
description. Okay, well, that's all for this week. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the video, and hit that little bell so
What?
that you never miss out on
The video.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
are you
I'm
doing a
just
YouTube
thing?
Okay, nice one.
Yeah. But no, we will see you next week. What are we watching next week?
Well, this is what I'm saying. We might watch the second How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, who fucking knows at this point?
Yeah, exactly.
Stay
All the rules
tuned,
have gone out the
even We don't
window.
have an
Exactly. So, but regardless, we will be here next Sunday with another episode just for you.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, same crumbling lack of direction.
Okay, bye.
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 Hey there, this is the part at the end of the episode that stops you from just going straight on to the next one, where we tell you about where you can find us online. That is at 250 Reasons on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, where you will see pictures of our faces. So we are not just an audio medium. You can also email us at 250reasons@gmail.com. And you can leave a 5-star glowing review on Apple Podcasts or any other places where you can leave reviews. If you want, just tell someone, hey, I really like these guys. They're super, super funny. I'll tell you what, this week, why don't you say hello to a stranger and be nice to them? Yeah?
Just don't get in their car, though.
Just don't get in their car. But get out of my dreams and into my car.
Bye.
Bye.